Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Carded Scarlett. Now, this is a figure that I think a lot of people were hoping to get much earlier in the line. Objectively, I think this is the best looking Scarlett figure that they've done so far. This is the most vintage inspired. This one has probably the best Scarlett look. The rest of them are good, but this is what I think a lot of people really wanted. I would have been happy to not get this one. I'll be perfectly honest. I would have been happy with the previous versions. The field variant Scarlet is the one that's currently on my shelf. So I'm excited to get this out of the box. But before I do, let's take a look at this retro card. So they have improved the cards. The card is a much hardier stock than the first few retro carded figures were. It's more like the Marvel Legends, like animated series ones, where it's sort of a double card. You can feel it. I don't know if you can see it, but like on this edge, it's clearly wrapped around, and then on this edge, it's sandwiched. So they've basically taken that card stock and folded it over. And it works because the bubble is sort of underneath the card. It actually makes for a cleaner display as well. So the card looks very nice. My only complaint is that it doesn't have the white border. But I suspect that with the way that they're printing them, the way that they're wrapping them, the white border might be hard because I think, there's a tolerance where they don't want to be off-centered kind of thing. I think they're sort of cut from bigger sheets. So, getting all of that correct might be the reason that they don't do it. That being said, I would love to see that white border. But I do like that we got this really retro inspired artwork on the side, very reminiscent of the original carded Scarlet figure, pose wise and sort of just overall aesthetic wise. And then on the back, of course, we get the file card. These file cards don't do anything for me at all. There's way too much going on there. You got 5 languages. I'm not, it's cool that they're doing that, but it doesn't. I mean, file cards really never did anything for me anyway. We do get the cross sell for the other figures released at the same time as Scarlet. So we got Recondo and Duke on there, and then a bunch of legalese. Pretty straightforward packaging. There's nothing all that exciting about the retro carded packaging for me. I could understand if you're an in-box collector, these might look cool on your wall, hanging up or what have you. But I open everything, so let's get Scarlet out of the box. All right, so here's Scarlet out of the box. She is looking fantastic. It's everything that I sort of hoped it would be. Very well sculpted. The colors are perfect. They're bang on. The details are great. The ponytail is interesting. I'll sort of mention that again when we get to the accessories, because of course she comes with 2 ponytails, not just one. But she's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, the butterfly joint as well. So the articulation scheme is definitely improved over previous versions from what I remember. But yeah, the detail work is just really good. The sculpting on the head is quite good. She looks older. I will say that. She looks a little bit older than previous versions. A little more mature. I like that though. I like that Scarlet with her position in GI Joe. I would think that she would be a little bit older, right? She would have had to have had some experience to sort of be the soldier that she is. But this is a very retro inspired, vintage inspired figure. The shoulder pad, the grenade, the throwing stars. She's got a pistol on the inside of her forearm there as well. Teeny tiny little pistol. So yeah, all the details that you would want are there. And I think it's just a really great looking figure. It's really simple. I think the other versions, they tried to add more detail. They tried to modernize her a little bit more. But as far as I can tell, this version of Scarlet is sort of the definitive one that I think a lot of people really wanted to get in the classified line, and here she is, and I think they've executed her almost perfectly. I have zero complaints. You know, even the stuff that I've been complaining a little bit about, that weird sort of notch in the shoulder, isn't really there. The bicep swivel is nice. The sculpting is cut well. Um, yeah, I got nothing. I got no complaints about this figure whatsoever. And then they loaded her out with absolutely amazing accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. All right, so with the accessories, let's start with the base. Of course, the retro carded figures come with a base for your figure to stand on. It's not terribly exciting, but it is nice to have that base. We get an extra set of hands. In this case, they are fists, which is good to have for toy photography, for, you know, just playing with your figures. If she ever gets in a fist fight, you know, maybe she's in a gladiator ring or something like that and doesn't have her weapons, you can get the fists on there. As I said, there's an alternate ponytail. So the figure comes with two, a straighter one and more of a wavy kind of one. I don't know if it's an action shot ponytail. I don't really know. What I will say is the plastic is really soft and they sort of peg in, and it made me a little bit nervous to put the ponytail in, I'll be perfectly honest. So I don't know that I would necessarily recommend that you kind of swap that in and out too often, and certainly not without using heat. I'm going to put her on the stand because she's having a hard time standing up a little bit, but... But yeah, the ponytail, you know, as I said, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to break the ponytail, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I don't. What do you want? As I said, like this plastic is like really, really soft. So without heating up that head, that does not go in very easy. After that, we get a backpack, which I believe we saw with the Valkyrie pack. A small dagger, small blade, which will go in the sheath on her hip there. A pistol, which she does not have a holster for, but I suspect will fit on the backpack just fine. We get a rifle there for her, as well as, and I for whatever reason I had sort of forgot that it came with this, as well as the snow job rifle. I know that it has a different name, but I'm pleasantly surprised that it includes this. This one's all crooked in sort of every way, but a little bit of heat will fix that. I love these. I'm very, very happy that they finally got around to making these, and that they are including them with several figures, so that you could have a whole rack of those if you wanted to, which I intend to at some point. And then last but not least, of course, Scarlett comes with her crossbow. That's sort of what she's known for. And this is sculpted really, really nicely. It's a little small. It's a little dainty. It is two pieces, and it doesn't stay together all that well. But it looks fantastic. It's a little soft. I mean, all the weapons are soft. That's why they get crooked. And it's a little bit annoying, but I get it from the perspective of, you know, these are kids' toys or whatever, whatever. They work. I wish they weren't all crooked. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. This stuff's not exciting. This is not exciting. We'll put these over here. We'll put this right here. There, that works. So that I can show you that the crossbow comes with 4 arrows, and it's not 4 of the same arrows. No, of course not. It is 4 separate arrows. They have all got different arrowheads. So 3 just sort of, sharp tips, and then what looks like sort of a grappling kind of arrow, I suspect. I don't know. I mean, they look cool. I like that there's 4 different ones. they all have the same fletching. I mean, it's plastic. It's not fletching, I guess, but it's, you know, there you go. They're all the same on the one end. And then they're going to tuck into her little, what's the word? Arrow holder. I don't know. I can't remember the word. But yeah, it's really, really cool that you get 4 different arrows, and the arrows actually lock in to the crossbow quite nicely. There's a notch in the sculpting right there where you can sort of get the arrow in there nicely, and it just fits nice and snug, so that arrow's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall out. Yeah, just very, very cool. The crossbow, I think, is done very, very well. The loadout, you know, all the accessories together make for a very, very good offering, and just a really, really cool figure. So I'm going to get her all loaded up with this stuff. I'm going to get her posed up, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so here she is all geared up and posed up, looking very, very deadly with that crossbow. Scarlett, I think, is just a really, really great character, and I'm really, really happy that they gave her the figure that I think she deserves. Definitely a figure that I would strongly recommend if you are collecting the G.I. Joe Classified line. I think, I hate to say it, but I think this Scarlett is going to replace the field variant Scarlett on my shelf. It's just a really, really good, clean figure, and it comes with a ton of great stuff. And you know, I'm not even using most of it, but you can sort of mix and match, and you know, use this for other figures or whatever. But that crossbow looks fantastic. The bolts look fantastic. You know, you can tuck all the extras in right there. Yeah, just a great figure. And if you're into the retro stuff, great, you've got a winner here. If you're not into the retro stuff, I think this is objectively just the best version of Scarlett. So go out and grab yourself one of these retro carded Scarletts. I got mine from eCollectibles.ca. I think he's still got some left. So give Mike a shout and get one for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss future videos, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Till next time, bye-bye.